So let's go with part one. What are musculoskeletal disorders and how does Nicolas hurt his body at work? Well, when Nicolas has pain, it's not due to an accident, i.e. something that liberates a lot of energy just like that. You know, it's a slow process. It's what we call cumulative disorders. If you want to understand cumulative disorders, you have to imagine a glass. The glass can be his shoulder, can be his elbow, can be his neck. Doesn't matter. It can be anything. This glass has a certain capacity, a load-bearing capacity. And if the load on the tissues is bigger than the capacity, well, the glass overflows. And when the glass overflows, symptoms appear. What for symptoms? Pain, tingling, numbness, hernia, carpal tunnel syndrome, you name it. You see, in the cumulative model, which is the glass, we have three parameters. Parameter number one is the faucet, i.e. how much load you pour into the glass. Parameter two is the straw, i.e. how you remove the load from the glass. And parameter three is the size of the glass, i.e. how much can your tissues bear. My field is like yours, you know. Tooth cavities are also cumulative issues. What do you teach your patients to avoid tooth cavities? Well, mainly two things. Number one, avoid having too much sugar. Number two, brush your teeth better. In my field, it's exactly the same. Number one, I will teach you how to use your body properly so as to reduce the useless load on the tissues. And number two, we're going to discuss what we can do to relieve the tissues, i.e. to remove the strain. So let's start with the sugar. Sugar is the load on the body. The load on the body has four components. What you do, in which posture, for how long, and in which psychological state. So let's call them posture, activity, duration, and stress. Let's start with posture. Posture has a double meaning, which makes it a bit tricky. You see, there are, five basic postures. You can be sitting, standing, kneeling, on all fours, or lying down. So Leo, Nicolas, and I are all three in the same posture because we're all three sitting. But if you see, we all sit differently. You know, one will have his feet there, the other one there. One will be sitting here, the other one there. All these are different ways of having the same posture, i.e. they are different postures. Yeah? What I call posture is the detailed geometry of your body. I will look whether the arm of Nicolas is here, or whether it's there, or whether his shoulder is raised, or whether he's slightly forward. All these are different postures in my field. Then, after I characterized Nicolas' posture, which as you see is so-so right now, well, we're going to remove his skin and look at how tense he is underneath. This tension will come from physical efforts, holding, lifting, pushing, will come from shocks, from vibrations, or from cold. So you see, first step, I look at the shape of your body, joint by joint. Second step, we remove the skin, we look at the inner tension. And then we look at the time factor, i.e. how frequent or how prolonged will it be. Next to that, we have stress, which is not the topic of this course. Consider stress as oil on the fire. Whatever be your pathology, whatever be the biomechanics of the body, stress will be a positive or a negative moderator. If you're stressed, everything will be worse. We will therefore stick to posture, activity, and duration. The rule of biomechanics is the following. In biomechanics, you may only take one risk at a time. I.e., you can have a bad posture, say, I don't mind that Nicolas does that, but I don't want him to do that for the whole afternoon. And I don't want him to do that whilst, say, he lifts a heavy load. So you can have a bad posture, but not for too long and not whilst you're doing an effort. You can also do an effort, say, lift your kid. You also have a private life, but not for 2 hours in a row. So you see, the idea at this stage is that we are going to look for what I call toxic cocktails. Toxic cocktails are a combination of factors, i.e. bad posture that lasts for too long, bad postures that are combined with vibrations that last for too long, physical efforts that last for too long. Now we'll ask Nicolas to show us a number of toxic cocktails that are typical from his job. Typically, when Nicolas needs to reach far for the lamp or to reach far for the tools, we have a suboptimum posture. Once, I don't mind. But if the procedure is extremely long and all these primary tools are that far away, well, we have a bad posture combined with a high frequency toxic cocktail. Yeah? And as you know that you may only take one risk at a time, well, you know what you'll have to do. You'll have to solve the posture or to solve the frequency. Now, Nicolas will show you what a bad posture combined with a physical effort is. You see, if he grips his tool and you see that, joint which is hyperextended in combination with the physical effort, we have here a bad posture combined with a physical effort. Your two solutions, you reduce the physical effort or you solve the posture. Other typical example of bad posture combined with duration. You see, depending how Leo gives the tool to Nicolas, Nicolas will be able to just take it and use it. But if now Leo gives the tool wrongly, Nicolas will have to, always glide his fingers along the tool, which creates these repetitive micro movements in the finger joints many times a day. So there's an important point on the coordination between the dentist and the assistant. Such small things will matter at the end of the day, of the week, of the year, a lot in terms of hand strain. In the cumulative model, we're therefore not talking about very impressive things very often. We're talking about small things that are repeated over time. And you can also have the three together, maybe at different places, He has a bad posture, he has a physical effort, and it lasts for long. Well, now you have the three. Well done, Nicolas. So you get the point. The idea behind the cumulative puzzle, which is this, idea that we should be looking for toxic cocktails, is intellectually extremely simple. It's going to be very easy for you to identify a number of toxic cocktails in all your daily activities. But what's difficult is to have an extensive view of what you should be looking at. I'll give you a simple example. You see, if I work with my knees spread sideways, I increase the strain in the piriformis muscle, which is going to create pressure on the sciatic nerve. Now, if I stand with my feet pointing outwards, I create the same strain in the piriformis, i.e. on the sciatic nerve. So you see, if I'm not aware of that, and I work sitting with my knees spread sideways, and then I stand with my toes pointing outwards, well, although my posture has been changing throughout the procedure, the local strain at piriformis, therefore sciatic nerve level, has not been changing. I can change posture, but still locally have a continuous strain. This is why the idea that the best posture is the next one, movement is health, blah, 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 isn't the greatest thing to say, because it's not precise enough. Alternating between wrong postures all day long is not going to make you healthy.